You guys are good. You guys are
Yeah,
it'll be awkward maybe for the first couple of minutes, and you'll.
Are you editing it yourself?
Yeah, I edit it myself. I do everything myself. That's
Nice.
the beauty of it. I like doing it my own.
Yeah,
You know, it's my own
interesting.
podcast. But this is my god, this is episode 40, I believe, of the 100
Really?
podcast. Yeah, episode
Wow.
40. I brought in Matt and Klaudia from Leaf Royale. That's it.
Correct. Yes.
So first off, before we start, can you guys just kind of drop your Instagram, drop what you guys are doing, and just kind of talk about your business a little bit? I want everybody to kind of know about it right off the jump.
Absolutely, yes. Thank you. First of all, thank you for having
No
us
problem.
here. It's always exciting to get to know people that are likely minded and actually share a lot of ideas that we share.
Yeah.
And we just started talking, and after a few minutes, we knew that we have similar ideas. So basically, our Instagram handle or social media handle is Leaf Royale, and we have it all over. We are on Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, Twitter, YouTube. We started with podcasting as well. So we have first maybe 10 episodes, and we're just testing the waters, whatever.
Do you have the name for your podcast yet?
We were thinking, that's a funny the good that you asked, because we were thinking if we should make it purely CBD related, because CBD is still new, so we might get better views long term. But since we are starting from scratch, we built this company, we barely started. We started thinking about this company last year. It evolves into having the product in our hands this year, and now we start marketing beginning of this year. So we were on the edge if we should make it something that will document our journey as a small business that we continue to grow and share what we know, our successes, our failures, or CBD related. So as of right now, the name of the podcast is The Road to Financial Freedom by Matt and Klaudia. Mm-hmm. We will see if we're going to keep it or not.
But I think you could kind of keep both of them in there, you know, because CBD is obviously going to continue to evolve as more studies come out, more things come out about it. And then you guys can keep talking about your business while you talk about it. So
that's what we're doing. And YouTube is also a platform where we decided, you know what, following Gary Vee and a strategy, give. I mean, we would sit down and think like what we should do, what we shouldn't do. Let's just do it. And that's what we decided. So whenever we have the feeling we're driving the car, we want to record a podcast or listen to a podcast, we have a topic, let's say CBD for pain, let's talk about CBD for pain. The next time we have some small successes, we want to share what we did for that success, we're going to share that. So you can, whatever business you're in, you can use that strategy.
Exactly. And like you said, just like Gary Vee, just kind of always sharing information, always dropping something on social media.
I follow Josh Snow with his company. I'm not sure if you're familiar with him. He is a teeth whitening kit.
Okay.
And this is really cool. You connect it to your iPhone, and he's building like e-commerce giant right now.
I think I've heard of that one. Okay, yeah.
Right now, I think he's literally everywhere, like Costco, Target, Best Buy, obviously internet, and he's doing right now big numbers. And that's what he said, you know. That's why we wanted to right away jump on your podcast too, because that's what you're doing here too. He said that, listen, we have everywhere for years someone who is recording or having a conversation or writing a book about someone who's already successful. Mm-hmm. And you cannot get back like 30 years or 20 years back to find out what made this person successful. Yes, they can talk about it, but we don't have something that documents like right now.
And do they really remember it
correctly?
Exactly.
You cannot like share those like feelings like what you're having right now when you started. You put 8 months or 9 months into the business or 1 year into the business, you didn't take even $1 out of the business. Yeah. How do you feel about it? You just get blocked. Like we started the first week in the business. We got banned on Facebook ads. Red flag the account.
Just because the cannabis?
Because cannabis.
Really?
Google ads.
So right off the bat, you guys are like, no, we don't want you guys to work.
What about? And my background is I love ads. I love Facebook ads. I started learning more about Google ads, and I had no idea about SEO. I had no idea about YouTube channels, podcasting, nada.
Yeah, really.
And first week, I was so excited. I'm gonna market whatever I know, and just use Instagram ads, Facebook ads, whatever ads to reach people. boom, first week they banned everything.
Wow.
And we already had our product, so it wasn't like
Yeah.
that we didn't have a product and we just wanted to spread out the word. What's our plan? We already had it and we got blocked. And we're like,
You guys were like ready to go, ready to drop it.
And then done.
So what'd you guys do from there? And then actually before that, what made you even get into the CBD business? What
Great
made you guys
question.
even start your...
You want to talk about it?
I can start. Yeah, we actually had a different business. It was a cleaning service. It was like a first business for me especially, to get to know how to run a business, how to hire people, how to
the ins and outs.
Yeah.
How to get clients, how to market it.
So that was the first business, and later we got married last year. And after we came back from Europe, we were like, okay, so now where are we going? And Matthew quit his 9 to 5, and he wanted to fully. We started a social media marketing agency as well.
Okay.
So we were at that moment like, okay, we have to risk everything right now because we don't have kids yet. So we can take that, how do you say, like, leap of
faith?
Leap of faith,
yeah.
and just try because we don't have anything to lose. So while our conversations about that, we got accidentally approached by a friend at the gym, and just the opportunity came to us, and we started getting into the CBD
I remember
industry.
a conversation. When we were talking like what we were doing, and the idea of social media marketing agency or IG agency that you see right now was to really help other businesses grow and learn more about ads and the entire psychology about marketing. Like I'm fairly new to social media, but I always was curious, like, what is it that someone on TV or Facebook ad or YouTube ad everywhere makes me to really think about their products, but their brand, and like eventually buy their products? Like, what is it? Like, what makes me feel so? Right now, whenever I see an ad or billboard, whatever, and I'm looking at it, and I write down how does it make me feel. And so I wanted to really study it deep, and I thought social media marketing might be a good thing, and I invested a lot of money into courses that teach about social media marketing and everything. So we had this conversation, and this friend looks at us like, why don't we build your own brand? Why don't we
use the skills you've learned and build your own thing?
Yeah, and I was at the beginning, like the social media marketing. I had maybe my first client back then. Like, this was nothing, and we were thinking about it, and first thing I had in my mind, we're not a big fan of THC. We had bad experience with it. Maybe because lack of knowledge.
And mixing it
a
with
little
alcohol.
too much or what?
Okay. Vegas stories.
Yeah. Having fun, being young.
Edibles and stuff like that.
Edibles, they'll catch up to you. You're like, I'm not feeling anything. An hour later, you're out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't even see.
And this is for another podcast,
entertaining
podcast.
Let's get back into it.
But definitely, that's the first. I think we had on our minds, like, it's gonna make us high. Like, I'm not sure about it. So we started doing research. Like, what is CBD? We couldn't pronounce if it cannabidiol or cannabidiol. Some people have different pronunciation for that.
Yeah.
I stayed with cannabidiol. I think that's the easiest one. It really took us like 2 weeks to start pronounce it. And then we were looking into the research, digging deeper, and then we start testing some products. Let's try it. So first time we took some oil, CBD oil, before we went to sleep, and that night, like, we slept, like, our sleep was great. I felt good.
Really?
And I wasn't high. Yeah, and as whatever position you're in right now, if you work for someone, you're building your own business, you want to definitely be healthy. You want to have optimized sleep, because that means
sleep is probably the most important behind diet, maybe.
Yeah, if you read the book Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker, it's gonna open your eyes. Well, how sleep is important. Then Bill Gates said that one thing that he regrets is not getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep during his journey when he was starting building his fortune. So sleep is so important. And inflammation, you don't want to have inflammation in your body. You don't want to be in pain, right?
Exactly.
And anxiety and stress. those are the three things that everyone has we have it in common.
And so when you take CBD, obviously, like you said, it doesn't get you high, but can you feel? You can like when you take it, you can feel that anxiety and your stress just kind of like go away a little bit.
After like 15 minutes, you're really aware, so you know what's going on, but you feel so calm inside, so relaxed, and that's amazing.
It's interesting, and so two ways. So when you take it before going to sleep, that's what was our very very first try. It makes you feel calm, relaxed. You don't have those thoughts running through your head, when you go to sleep. And everyone knows this moment where you really want to fall asleep, but you can't, and you think about falling asleep, and you get like stressed out and anxious because you're not falling asleep, because you know that you have to wake up, at a certain time.
You're already thinking about
every
the
minute
next day.
awake makes it worse.
Yeah, exactly. Like, now if I fall asleep right now, I got 4 hours.
Yeah,
I fall asleep right now.
3.5. Oh my God, I have to wake up in 2 hours. I'm
Exactly.
done, Everyone knows that, and that is CBD helps with that pretty much, and you feel relaxed and calm, and there's a science behind it. So we're like, all right, it makes sense. I feel good. Let's try it in the morning. And then I found that I have to take a really small dosage, and it works for me. Like my alertness is increased.
Really?
Yes. And,
that interests me.
And when I like anxiety and stress, I have a background with depression and stuff like that. So and being relaxed, like not being anxious and having stressing out about a lot of things, especially building a business, it's a big thing to me, and it started working. And we started taking different products like bath bombs, like face masks, CBD water.
You're just trying everything out.
Everything.
Topicals.
Like, and whenever you're in pain and there's like THC and CBD bombs as well. Right now they're very popular, and CBD only bombs. And we start testing it out, and I'm like, first time after so many years, I don't feel pain in my lower back muscle. And I started physically working when I was 14 back in Europe. I was working as a mover since I was 14 all over Europe. Then mixed martial arts, then gym. It like killed my lower back, and I got used to the pain. And I thought like, all right, for the next 60, 70, whatever years, I'm gonna wake up and have
normal,
have pain. I drive for longer than 1 hour, but before I get to LA, my back is like, all right, take a break, go walk, But I started seeing really good relief with that, and obviously we were really studying it for weeks, and then we said like, what, let's do it. Let's partner up. Let's do it together. And that's what we did.
So you guys were dating at the time, or were you guys already married?
We were married.
Oh yeah, you said you were married. You were married, and you guys had to figure out a business to go with.
Yes.
And on top of that, obviously you guys are from Europe, like you said. So where are you guys from in Europe? And
from Poland.
In Poland. And
yes.
what caused you guys to get out here to the United States?
That's funny.
We have 3 hours time right now.
Dude, let's go. We got plenty of time. I want to hear about this.
Yeah, so I was originally born in New York City. So my parents met in New York. They had me, of course. And then when everyone was coming from Europe, from Poland to United States, my parents went back to Poland. So I grew up in Poland, and I still came here every year. I have a lot of family on the East Coast. So I knew that I eventually, one day in the future, I'm going to move back to Poland, but to United States, but I never thought that I'm going to end up in Coachella Valley, in California. Yeah. And I came here 2 years ago, and now you can continue the story because back when...
So basically, Klaudia didn't know anything from the West Coast because her family is on the East Coast, New York and Florida. With me, I never, knew any. I still don't know anything about the East Coast. I was in Florida for 3 days. That's it.
Yeah, Florida's a little wild too. Florida's a wild place.
Yeah.
And the weather's kind of crazy too. The humidity. Yeah.
And her grandparents, Claudia's grandparents, live by the water, so they have nice boat and a really nice place.
They got alligators and crocodiles over there?
They got.
That's pretty wild, man.
That scares me.
Yeah.
I was watching left and right and we drive around with her uncle, and he goes like, oh, well, there probably is like 5 alligators right there. Like, keep going.
Yeah, let's not even talk about it.
Right? So basically, I was born in Poland, to just make it quick. I was born in Poland and then moved to Germany. It was a time when Poland joined European Union, and 2004, around 2004, and my parents, my family business went down big time. We lost pretty much everything. My dad lost everything, all real estate, all businesses, pretty much. We had grocery stores and wholesale and retail, and we lost everything. We lost our apartments, houses, everything. And pretty much my parents decided to leave the country and start rebuilding everything. But then they got divorced, so right after that. So I had to decide if I want to be with my dad or with my mom. And so I decided my dad was in Germany, and my mom wanted to stay or to fly to United States and stay away as far as possible from Poland. And I made a decision to stay with my dad. So I came here to the United States for the first time for just vacation purposes, and pretty much I told my mom, hey, I'm going back to Europe. I don't want to be in the United States. You can stay here. And my older brother was here, the first guy, first family member that got to the United States, and he was here in Palm Desert.
Oh, okay.
And then my mom, we came to visit him, and my mom said, I'm staying with your older brother, and start building my life here. And I said, all right, you stay here. I go to Europe. So this was the last time I saw her for the next 5 or 6 years.
Wow.
I was really pissed. I couldn't understand why is she doing that to me. So
she's just bitching me, my mom.
Yeah,
what the fuck?
What's going on? So I flew by myself back to Europe because she stayed here already. And I remember they called me Delta Kid because I had this band, and Delta was carrying me through the airports,
I know, and they have to kind of just take you everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Because you have a flight attendant with you all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
But you don't stand in lines anywhere. That's
very cool. Yeah, I was one of the first people on the plane.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's true. And the last one to leave.
Yeah. Because they have to make sure that you're with them,
Yeah.
So basically, I stayed with my dad, and I was growing up in Germany. Went to school there. I obviously speak that language too, so English is my third language. And I work as a mover in my dad's company because that's what he started doing. He still actually do it until now. He still lives there. And when I turned 18, 19, I wanted to give my mom a second chance. And I decided to come to the United States. And this was pretty much around the time before I turned 21. And this was the last chance for me to get green card and maybe have a chance to become American citizen.
Okay.
And the land of opportunity.
You're like, I'm taking it.
Become my land, my country. I wasn't sure about that, but I came here and I started the entire process. I got my green card pretty quickly because it was like last call decision. I couldn't be older than 21 because when you turn 21, because my mom already has a citizenship. So I was here.
So when you're over 21, it's done? You can't?
It's done, you can't.
Because it's like they want to bring families together, something like that. So that's why he had to be under 21.
Yeah. And when I'm over 21...
To be with his mom?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Kind of. And when you're officially an adult after becoming 21, turning 21, the only way to get American citizenship is pretty much marrying American. And I didn't know that I will meet my wife who has American citizenship, right? Because the funny story is, to continue Klaudia's story, is that to skip forward, we met in California.
Just how though? Just how? So you guys don't know each other at all from Europe or anything?
No.
Nothing. I didn't know. She's from her city where Klaudia was in Poland. Is like
from the east,
400 or 500 miles away, like completely different part of the country. Like I never been to her area in the country ever. And Poland is smaller than California, but it's still, big distance for Poland.
Yeah.
So I never been to that area, She's Eastern Poland, I'm Western Poland. I'm very close to German border and Czech border. So basically, I started working with my brother, and he has a solar company here in the desert. We brought European solar panels to the desert, or actually United States. Right now, he's in 3 or 4 states already, so he's growing the business. And I started working for him. And Klaudia's dad met my brother in New York during one of the business meetings, and her dad came to visit us to get to know better about the business because she was thinking about starting his own office. And obviously he wanted to start a business because it was, you know, it's still big. Solar industry is great opportunity. He was looking for another opportunity, and he wanted to do it in Florida. And I started Googling, checking out, calling different companies over there. I'm like, solar in that, especially in that area of Florida, is not good idea right now, because the price of energy is way lower than in California. They don't have the good, you know.
It feels like it's not gonna. Yeah. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my brother said, you know what? Let's offer him to open an office somewhere here in California so we can expand from here, from the Coachella Valley. So Ontario area it is. He started his office in Ontario. We were, you know, he was with us training and everything, opening his office. And one night he said, you know, I have 3 kids, and my daughter, my oldest daughter lives in Warsaw. It's the capital of Poland, one of my favorite cities, and she's around your age. And I was like, really? What's her name? And you know, I started looking for.
Being a guy, you're like, let's go see what's up.
You know, let's check it out, and let's expand this business further.
Oh man!
Was it that time that he already started calling you my son, or not?
Yeah, this was a few weeks before that. So basically, he gave me her first name, which is my sister's name, my older sister's name. And my older sister's to me like mother too, because by the time my mom was here, I was very close with my sister. And Klaudia. And I found her on Facebook. I texted her, or, you know, sent her a DM. Hello from California, I'm here with your dad, or something like that. Or your dad, and Matthew says hello, something like that. Really polite. And she didn't respond, like nothing.
I got so mad. I called my dad the next day.
Oh, she got mad.
I did not respond to him like to a few months.
Really?
And I called my dad. I'm
You're
like,
working.
why are you talking about me to some kind of guy?
Yeah.
I saw your kid's pictures. I'm like,
yeah, I had a picture from Vegas.
Flexing or what?
no, not really.
I had a.
You were like.
I was dressed up to go out in Vegas.
Oh, okay. I get what
And this
saying.
was in Vegas.
Yeah.
So I was
a little flashy or what?
Yeah, a little bit flashy, and maybe didn't come through good, you know.
Did not catch my attention.
So basically, I didn't give up, and this was around October, November, and Christmas time was coming, and my brother decided to fly to Poland for the first time after like 15, 16 years, spend Christmas together in Poland, because he was here for a long time already. So we said, yeah, it's gonna be a good opportunity to meet Klaudia, because the airport is in Warsaw, so we're gonna land there. I'll somehow figure out where she lives, and I'll knock on the door and be like, hey, I just want to get to know you. Like, why you ignore me?
Yeah.
Like, you know, why? What the
Like,
hell?
what's up? I'm just
What's
a
up,
regular
you know?
guy. Like,
I just
come
want
on.
to get to know you better, you know. And then I get a call from her dad, like a few days before we took off to Europe, that she's freaking coming for Christmas to the United States.
Oh.
And I'm like, what? And I was like, all right, well, we'll have to wait until next year, whatever. So I flew to Poland. January 1st. I believe January 1st, I get a FaceTime call message. The time difference like 9 hours. So I was like, it was like 10 a.m. and here was like 1 a.m.
And we were still partying and it was morning.
Yeah, I get a call on FaceTime, and I pick up this was her dad. I pick up the phone, and she said he already was calling me my son, just for fun.
Yeah.
Just for fun, you
Just
know?
to probably get under her skin a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, most likely. And I pick up, and he goes like, you know, Matthew, I would like to introduce you to someone. He passes the phone, and in Palm Desert, in my brother's house, because my brother's girlfriend was already here, so I see Klaudia sitting there next to my mom, because my mom stayed here too.
Wow.
Yeah. It was me and my brother that left to Europe, and my mom decided to stay here. I don't know why, but whatever. She was sitting next to my mom, and so my mom met Klaudia first, and I met Claudia's parents first before we even met. We started talking. I think it was a good conversation.
No, I you know what was there.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Well, whatever. You know.
You guys are together now, so
Yes, and 3 days later, on January 3rd, her dad picked us up from LAX. Klaudia was waiting for me with chicken soup, and in Corona, next to Ontario, and this was it. She wanted to give me a handshake, and I was like, get away with this handshake, come give me a hug. And 2 weeks later, we had a party at my friend's birthday party, which was supposed to be for men only. My brother's friend, he was turning out around 45 or 45.
Okay, gotcha.
And her dad was invited, but
I always went everywhere.
Klaudia was with her dad, and we spent the day together. I was showing Klaudia the business because she was supposed to stay here to just help her dad, establish the business for a few months, whatever. And I was showing her around, the solar industry, and then we had this party, and Klaudia was at this party, and that party we were like everyone they were interviewing us, older. My older brother, his friends, we were the youngest, and they were like, you know what, guys, you're the perfect couple. Like, you have to be together. And we finished the day like around 9 a.m. party. Like, we didn't stop partying.
We stopped by the gas station, and we were like really mad because they didn't want to sell us
alcohol.
Yeah,
they didn't sell alcohol after 4 a.m.
And Jesus,
we had a good time, and pretty much. Long story short, last year, July, we had our wedding in Poland.
Man. In Poland?
Yes.
In Poland.
So, on all these adventures, what's your favorite country? Do you guys have any, or what's your biggest difference maybe in the countries you've been to?
Oh, there's a lot of countries. Depends on what you're asking for. Are you asking about business?
Like, you lived at, you are like your personal experience. What's the difference between the United States and Poland, or like the United States and Germany?
Okay, opportunities.
Okay.
I'm talking about capitalism pretty much. There's no second place that I know where you can establish a business and really do something that you're great at and grow from there. There's way more limitations. There's way more taxes that are discouraging every small business owner who's like in Europe, it's common to pay 50% taxes.
Really?
Yes. And value added tax, or VAT, or like you go to a store, you want to buy this iPad, you pay how much? You like 7.75% tax here, right? In Poland, it's 23%.
Wow! So you're paying an extra 25%.
Exactly.
$100 is extra $25 on top.
Exactly, for everything like grocery, gas, everything, right? Plus, if you run a business, then you pay 40-50% taxes on everything. And that's the huge, big difference.
We actually talked about it yesterday. We were talking about it, that probably if we were living in Poland, we wouldn't open our business.
Yeah.
It's not that easy as it's here. It's like more paperwork over there, and
you're constantly under control.
Yeah. Super.
I have few successful entrepreneurs in my family, and like when you open LLC, I don't think even one is doing like big numbers. He's already multi-million-dollar corporation that he built it. I don't even think he has like LLC or corporation that is similar to this here, because before he moves to that, he has like to make sense accountant wise. It has to be like really like 5 or 10 million plus business to really make sense, because the structures are a little bit different. So to establish LLC and to have really limited liability in your company, it's way more difficult in Europe.
And you just gotta spend way more. You gotta have way more of that capital, way more money.
Germany is a perfect country to be an employee, because right now there's like unemployment forever. You get paid for kids. You get paid for apartments, for food, for literally everything without working. If you begin to work, they also give you a huge support because you are working. If you get your degree, you get your good job, and you're gonna keep it for 40-50 years. You're gonna make once a year good vacation, maybe twice a year, and enjoy 9 to 5. That's a great country to be in.
If you want to just be an employee.
If you want to be an employee, that's my opinion.
Yeah. Oh man.
And that's why I said like, all right, I don't want to be in this country.
Yeah, I want to be in the United States.
And so that's the biggest difference.
So going back to your business, and shout out, thank you guys for hooking me up with this oil right here. Do you guys make this yourself? Or do you guys have a manufacturer that you guys go to? We have a close partnership with people in Colorado. Okay. And they grow it on a huge scale, and we are pretty much
they do everything for us, but the box and the labels, this is something that we designed. We obviously we partner up with a manufacturer. We don't have those machines, but we design everything. The black and gold theme started in Klaudia's pretty much head. She knew more or less how it's supposed to look like, and we started designing. We started working with the different designers. We started designing ourselves using tools that are available. Some paid, some are not paid, but pretty much we wanted to have a product that will stand out. That's why when you feel it, the gold foil, it
comes out. You feel it. Yeah.
Like we envisioned the product like on the shelves, even though we don't have it. We have it sell it online only right now. We wanted to like envision it on the shelf and what would make it look like stand out from the crowd.
Pop a little bit. Yeah.
And we went to like all stores in Coachella Valley and check out whatever stores, not only for CBD but like for beauty products. And like what is it when you walk into Sephora that you're gonna grab this product and not that product or those products?
Yeah.
And that was kind of like, all right. We also knew that the first product it's not gonna be completely perfect because it's never perfect. And we need to get opinion from hundreds of people. So let's design something that is the best possibility that we can have right now. Let's get it done. We had no idea how we're gonna put the labels on the bottles, how we're gonna put them into a box. I didn't know it.
Yeah, exactly. That's starting a business. That's you starting your own business.
I was a consumer only. Like you buy beauty products, for men, healthcare, for skincare, whatever. And you open it and that's it. But I was like,
who puts it together?
Who puts it together? Like the writings, the copy on the box, the copy on the label, and we sat down for like hours, and you'd be like, shit, man, there's so much work that gets into that. And then you'd be like, all right, wait, we have a product that is, it's you take it sublingually, so you put it into your body, so it has to be like there's law that we have to follow, and we have to make sure that there's something that will not give us a lawsuit right away.
So
exactly. What are we gonna put on that? So we had to start contacting lawyers and people that are in the industry, sending like on LinkedIn 100 DMs. We still had at this time like the paid version of LinkedIn, so we can send many DMs and doing like entire research from like zero and like finding out, testing all. We continue to test different kinds of products. Because I left my one and only source of income back then, and I didn't make still a lot of money in my social media marketing agency, we were asking friends that buy products, CBD, THC, beauty, whatever it was, to send us either screenshots or pictures of the product, or have them visit them and check out what the products are. And like especially CBD, like finding what makes those products special, what they put, what ingredients they use, how they write it. And that's
exactly, because that's kind of where you find the buyer, is right when they're looking at that box, right when they're seeing it.
It's important.
They pick what they're gonna want.
It's like a hook.
First impression, it's important. And then the next question was, all right, we have the product, but this product sits in our house or apartment, but now it's not going to a shelf because it's not that simple to put your product into any store, like store that.
Is that your goal in the long term? Do you want it to be?
This might be one sales channel for us eventually, like beauty salons or stuff like that. Maybe once we grow, we will add it to different bigger stores like chains. We'll
but
see.
now like local small shops.
But the question was like, how do you picture it? How do you market it that people, when they look it online, because that's the whole idea, they're gonna feel it, like they're gonna see it. And this is something that we try to figure out for the last 3 or 4 months. And when you look at our Instagram account, for instance, until like last week, we had more posts than followers. So we were like organic content, like all the time, 24/7. And as much as possible, we even try to make it a little bit less to keep track of the data, to find out those unicorn posts, something that works. But like it's constantly changing, the marketing strategies in our heads, and we try to find something that's working the best. and delivers, gives a customer a good experience.
Yeah.
And and it helps eventually.
Yeah, well, and luckily your business is something where you can kind of put out all that information. You can always put out new facts and new info, hey, this certain one's good for this, and
be close to the customer.
Yeah, exactly. Make it feel real personal.
Yeah.
And
that's why we do personal delivery here in Coachella Valley.
That's
why we got late.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Because the customer invited us inside. And to get, we were a little bit shocked. We want to do that, but no one has so far offered it. Like, we knocked on the doors and they invited us, come on in, So we had a conversation with them. We found out how they heard about us. What they are looking for, what they are expecting from the product, and we had a conversation with them, and that is pretty much the approach that we have.
So, how many different products do you guys have at this moment?
Just
this one right here.
We have orange and mint.
Okay, and it's the CBD oil, and so this helps out with basically everything: the inflammation, anxiety, pain, sleep, all that.
Exactly. So it's anti-inflammatory.
That
is helping you with anxiety and stress, and that is also helping you to optimize sleep. And that's another thing. Like, you have 3 really important things, but how can you market all and mention all 3? Because they're a little bit different. So we think about it as a vicious cycle. Because what happens when you're in pain? You're gonna have problems falling asleep, right? Mm-hmm. What is going to evolve from that? Probably stress. You're gonna stress out. Your cortisol level is gonna be elevated. You're gonna be stressing out. You're gonna be anxious, and this is all like a vicious cycle. It never stops. It actually gets worse. So we think of CBD as in clearing the way to get out of the vicious cycle, so we can start creating better days. CBD, create better days, right? Yeah. And that's pretty much what we're trying to do.
I like that. CBD, create better days. Do you guys use it personally daily?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah? You guys use it at night, use it in the morning?
I have it on my face right now.
Yeah.
I put it on my face. Klaudia uses it for headaches, migraines, right?
Anxiety. And I take a little bit more because also the dosage. Everyone needs a different dosage to help them. And benefit from taking CBD oil that you don't have any side effects if you take too much. You just have to find that perfect spot that is good for you.
Yeah.
And I take it twice a day, once in the morning, and the other time before, like an hour before we go to bed. If I have like headaches, I just take like a full dropper, so it really helps me also. And we have customers that put on their face and it helps them with their acne. They put it on their knee because they have knee pain and that just goes away. So there's a lot of
different uses for it.
Yeah.
Got you. And so if somebody wants to buy this product from you, do they just go straight to Instagram, or do they go to your website, or do they have a...
You can go to leafroyale.com.
Okay.
The website that we actually developed. This is our second website. Everything we do is like developed by us. So even the websites too.
We spent 2 days building that website.
Like literally 25 plus hours.
Do you guys build it on like WordPress or something?
Shopify.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Shopify, and I'm testing WordPress and Wix too, but I think Shopify gives the best customer experience in my opinion. And it's the easiest to set up.
Yeah.
So we play with Shopify. So it's leafroyale.com, but if you go to our Instagram, you will find the links to the website as well in our bio. And for everyone who tries it for the first time, what you can do, you can use the code first time at the checkout. You're gonna get $20 off from your initial
first time. Remember that first time.
First time. And it's also in our highlight. We made it
gotcha.
Stands out, a red highlight in our Instagram. And if you have any questions, we always accept like DMs. Like if you have any questions before you buy it, shoot us a DM. Let us figure out if this might help you. Because there's science behind it, and we don't put too much scientific research on our Instagram because our engagement drops.
Yeah. People don't even want to read it. Yeah.
It's just... it's not for everybody,
Yeah, I understand that. And I just heard you, though. I heard you speak on it just a little bit, and I want to ask you because I'm a huge MMA guy. What type of MMA did you do? And were you in a league? Were you actual like matches and everything?
I did grappling tournaments.
Really?
Yeah, groundwork. I was into Hapkido
Okay.
world, which is Korean martial arts. Man, I met a friend. So the story behind it is that I left to Germany, and obviously there was a lot of going on. I left all my friends, my family. I was only with my dad in Germany, and I wasn't in good shape. I was only playing games, and I didn't know what to do with my life back then for probably another 10 years. But I was very weak. I couldn't hold the position of a push-up on the ground. Like I couldn't hold like a plank position for a second. Zero. And my dad started laughing at me. Like he was laughing me out. I'm like, I felt bullied almost. So I got motivated to start doing push-ups on like elevated, like incline push-up. And I started doing like 5 a day, and I was super happy. Still remember the first time I did 10 push-ups in a row. It took me like 5 months to get there. And I was doing like 1 to 5 sit-ups a day. Sit-ups and push-ups, 2 exercises. And it was the beginning in Germany, and I was chased by a lot of people. I got beaten up a few times. And I said, it's too dangerous to live here. So we leave, the country, or I learned how to protect myself. And I met at school, I met a guy who was super tall back then. Even though we were like 13, he was already tall. Korean guy. It took me like 4 weeks to learn how to pronounce his name. Myung Ju. And he was bullying me too at the beginning. But then, because he was way taller than everyone, because we didn't speak German, I was in like intense course to learn German fast. We were the oldest because they let us repeat the year. So we were like 2 years older than everyone else. And we started hanging out with him, and he started liking me. And then he said, my dad was a world champion in Hapkido, and we have a school. You can learn how to fight if you want. And I was always into like mixed martial arts and like those movies, with Chuck Norris, Van Damme, Steven Seagal, all those guys, and Jean-Claude Van Damme. And I met to see his dad, and his dad was like huge. I don't know, 6'4", 6'5" for Korean, and he was built, like 240, 230 pounds. And I saw the swords on the walls. I saw everything, like the mats and the gym. I was like, wow, it feels like I'm in the movies. In Korean martial arts and everything, like Asian martial arts. I was into it, and I started, working out with him, and I started learning about Hapkido, and I joined, I joined, and 6 to 12 months later, I had my first, belt. I got my yellow belt, whatever, and I started feeling way more confident.
So do you think MMA was a big part in like getting you out of your depression and getting you just like even to this, like to where you're willing to grind for your business? Like I feel like, especially for myself, I played football, I played sports. I think that's a big thing for me. That's a huge thing that's built me. It's made me where I can keep grinding when everybody else quits. Absolutely.
Sports is, so important, it absolutely, that's just, I think it's just one part, but it absolutely helps. And back then, like, it saved my life. I was afraid to go to the school. And, because I knew that freaking those guys would chase me again. And I didn't even knew why, because I'm like, right, it may be, right now we see what's going on around, and people fight for equality and freedom and everything. And like, it was in Germany. I just got them and Germans, they don't look like way different than us, than Polish people. And I was like, and those actually were mostly people from Turkey, Afghanistan, and they were trying to beat me up all the time.
You were just like the outsider or something.
Yeah, and I couldn't even talk to them. I didn't understand what they're screaming at me.
Oh my god.
They were, like...
So you're just getting chased by some guy yelling.
Yeah, I was just freaking... And I didn't know how to protect myself, nothing. I was so weak. And freaking got bad. And the school... I wouldn't even go to a school teacher. First of all, I couldn't speak German. So I couldn't talk to this teacher. Second of all, my dad was working like 20 hours a day. to pay the debt that he brought from Poland. He was paying it off for like 10 years, and so I had to find freaking solution. And I grew so strong, and I grew tall. That summertime I grew like a couple of inches, and I was around this Korean guy who he looks like Bruce Lee, and he was here. We are until today best friends. We don't talk much, but he was at our wedding. He was here. He visited.
Whenever
me
you see him, you guys.
Whenever you see, we knew we are like brothers, right? But he fights well. We had many fights with him. With other people. He knocked me down too a few times, but in a training or a competition. But I started learning how to protect myself, how to fight, how to get stronger, and I built respect in the streets.
Man, do you think, this will be my last question, then we can wrap it up.
Yeah.
Do you think being an immigrant gives you an edge growing up? And because I think there's a lot of kids here in the United States that are kind of a little, lack of a better word, kind of pussies,
Victim mentality.
Yeah, so do you think that gives you an edge not coming from this?
Robert Kiyosaki talks about it, about victim mentality that we're in. And we talk a lot about it because we want like our grandparents and everyone, we don't even can comprehend like what they went through when there's like millions of people dying everywhere,
Yeah.
I'm talking about back then. So what we bring in from being an immigrant and coming from different country, and Poland's a great country, and Germany is a phenomenal country. You feel safe now. Maybe depends on where you're at. Obviously, there are some big cities, but like everywhere. But it's a great country still. But bringing it here definitely gives you the edge because we know why we came here. We appreciate the actually freedom that we have.
Mm-hmm.
And because we know that there's like countries like that there's no freedom at all, and Poland was that country until maybe Poland is like really free for like last 10-20 years, maybe not even 30 years. We had communists in our country for a long time, so Germany was divided until 90s pretty much. And so pretty much we appreciate what we get from America, and we came here to build something, and this is our home now, and I will be very proud this year. I'll apply for American citizenship towards the end of the year, and this will be proud.
You gotta come back on after you have it.
Yeah,
come back on after the business. That's another year, so I'm sure the business will be popping. It'll keep growing. Come back on, talk about what you guys are doing.
More than happy to do that.
So again, Leaf Royale, Klaudia, Matt, I appreciate you guys. That was a good podcast. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Thanks.
That was cool. Was I talking too much?
No, man, that was
You always
perfect.
talk a lot.